and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and gonna go over Raw as we was in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, before we get into the show, gotta remind everyone we gotta pay these funny little gimmicks called bills. So, want to remind everyone we are WWE Shop affiliates. So what that means is, you click the link in the description tab, or if you're watching the video, you scan that QR code right there on the screen. Yeah, that one right there, scan it, and it'll take you to WWE Shop. You go to WWE Shop, you make whatever purchase for any item you want, whether it's a Jey Uso Yeet shirt, whether it's a LA Knight Yeah shirt, whether it's one of the shirts for AJ Lee's big return, or maybe something else, whatever you want to get, anything your heart desires. You make whatever purchase you want there, and then we here at the Vicious Studios receive a small nominal commission, in which that helps us make this show better, so we can make this place improved and better for you. Also want to remind everyone, one of the best ways to help support the show is to get some Vicious Rants, easy for me to say, merch, which you can get at whatamaneuver.net. Link is in the description tab as well. We got t-shirts, we got tanks, we got women's tees, we got baby onesies, we got toddler tees, and folks, we are coming up to my favorite time of the year, the fall season. So we got long sleeves for when you start to feel that nice soft brisk chill in the air. And oh, so comfortable. Such a good comfortable shirt. Make sure you guys check that out as well. So before we start talking about Raw, gonna address, we are close to WrestlePalooza coming up, and yeah, WWE is loading the card. It's supposed to be up on ESPN in the US, Netflix internationally. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Also, we had Worlds Collide over this past weekend, and my God, this was a hell of a show. I did mention last week that, I did partake in the BWO, the Blog World Orders for the Main Event Networks. Race to 50 for the card on that. Unfortunately, I only scored a 6 based on my predictions on that, but hey, I ain't arguing. But I will say this, thank the gods on high, Dominic is now the new AAA Mega Champion. So really cool to see on that. And yeah, Worlds Collide was a great show. If you got the time, when you're done watching this, go on YouTube and look it up. If you're watching this, I should say. If you're listening to it, go on YouTube and look it up when you're done. But either way, let's get into the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. It started out with Brock Lesnar coming out. Cowboy Brock coming out looking like he's about to do Cowboy Brock shit. Gets the mic just as he's about to speak. R-Truth comes out. His music, he raps his way to the ring. He gets in Brock's face. Brock Lesnar, with a straight-ass poker face, looks at him clear as day. Who are you? I'm Ron Cena. Ron Cena. Yeah. You messed with my brother, John Cena. Your brother. From another mother. So, same dad? Yeah. And that Truth basically going on saying, listen, this ain't been John Gier. He's been up, down, over, around, and he wound up even making a little kid cry. But this ain't the same kind of John Cena you faced before. He's got that horse hustle. He's got that loyalty. And he's running off of 2 drops of that kid's tears he made cry. He's a whole different kind of animal. And he is going to come out and get you with full force come WrestlePalooza. And then Brock just looking at him. You're missing a tooth? I'm missing a what? He scoops him up, and then boom! Brock F5s him, and he F5s R-Truth so hard, he literally rips his pants. He ripped his pants, a clean slit right down, and Brock, once he got up, instead of being like all sorts of embarrassed or no selling it, just laughing hysterically like, I ripped my pants. I ripped my pants, and got in the camera's face. Stu, I ripped my fucking pants. I ripped my pants. And you know, people could say what they want about Brock. He's a beast, he's a monster, and all that's true. But my God, once he knows on how to turn it on and be chill and have fun, man, if he knows on how to be chill and have fun when he's on the mic. And if you don't believe me with just this stuff, look at some of the stuff he did before, back in his day, when he was still running in Ruthless Aggression. I mean, his stuff that he was doing with Eddie Guerrero, to tease and taunt him, up into their match. You know? I never thought I'd ever see Brock Lesnar in a sombrero trying to get down with like that, but yeah. Either way, other highlights from SmackDown was Sami did a US Open Challenge against Rey Fenix, and there's been rumor and speculation, and just like always, take rumor and speculation with a grain of salt, that it was Phoenix because Andrade wound up getting his release earlier in the week, and yeah, he did get cut. He did get cut. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that, but there's rumor going around saying, well, it was because he wound up no-showing several shows, he had attendance issues, he didn't want to comply with this or that, and 100 different things were circling around, and at the end of the day, only two people really know the real story. Andrade and the head of the department that signs the termination papers. That's it. Yeah. But either way, Sami had a killer match with Rey Fenix. It was really great. And they said that this Friday coming up, Sami's going to be doing an open challenge with Carmelo Hayes. So, really look forward to that one. We also wound up getting Julia and Kiana James wound up doing a beatdown on B-Fab. It was supposed to be a match with Julia against B-Fab, but they did a beatdown on her before the bell could even ring. And then she got saved by Michin at the last minute, so 10 get you 20, we're getting a tag match with all four girls. Yeah. We also had a women's title match with Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill, and oh my freaking God, this was so good. This was a damn good match. I cannot stress that enough. I absolutely loved it. Really good match. I liked it. Unfortunately, it ended in a double countout. Both girls were on the outside. They speared through the timekeeper's area. And then Nia Jax came out of nowhere, did a beatdown on both. So, if I had to guess, probably leading into another triple threat, or maybe Nia versus Jade and winner faces Tiff type match. But we also wound up getting Randy Orton going against Drew McIntyre. Really good match. I dug that. Drew wound up getting the win, and just as it looked like he was about to go and do a post-match beatdown on Randy, he gets saved by Cody at the last minute. Cody returned. He clears the ring. Drew gets out, and Cody gets on the mic. Drew McIntyre, you wanted me? Well, I'm right here. So I'm gonna just skip the formalities and say this right now. I'll see you at WrestlePalooza. Boom. So we're going to get Drew versus Randy, and if memory serves, I do believe this is for the title at WrestlePalooza as well. Now, speaking of WrestlePalooza, for those that are in the US, I just want to emphasize this part right now. Double check, if you got terrestrial cable, double check if it's going to be on ESPN or ESPN2, because just for the hell of it, I decided, I got Spectrum, okay? I did a search in there for WrestlePalooza, and it said it was going to be on ESPN2 for me. So I was just like, oh, well, okay. Wasn't expecting that, but okay, thank you. But want to emphasize that if you got terrestrial cable, double check for that. If you got any of the other terrestrial cable systems that may have ESPN, YouTube TV, Hulu, Tubi, Sling, whatever, any of that, double check it, make sure. If not, I'm not condoning piracy at all in any way, shape, or form. But if I hear a vast swarm of yarg while WrestlePalooza's on, and see a couple people with eye patches, I'm not going to be surprised. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Either way, let's get into the show. Raw in Springfield. It starts out. John Cena comes out, hypes up the crowd, talks about on how just down the block he played football in college. And for those who don't know, he played offensive tackle. Now, those who don't know offensive tackle, that is the most thankless job, because you show up, you get no credit for any of the work you do. You get your ass kicked, you get up, you go, and then you do it all again the next day. And that right there helped prep me and train me to get ready to do this job. And that was John's words describing what it was doing all that. And much to my surprise, I did not know John Cena played college football, ever. Ever. I figured he played street football like any other kid, but I never figured him to do the college one, to go into college and do it. But either way, he then talked about on how, why would he say yes to a match against Brock Lesnar when he knows, hey, I'm at the tail end of the retirement tour. I have more than enough political say. I could go in the back and say, hey guys, listen, do I really need to do this? Ain't nothing saying I gotta. There's none of that is there at any point. But I'm choosing to. Why? Because I'm here to send a message. Brock, you want to say you want to take me to Suplex City? Bitch, I was there when you made Suplex City, and I had to break it to you, but I'm still standing. And to sum up basically what John said, he was basically saying, it could take a lot to knock me down. Anything can knock me down, but but ain't nothing out there that can keep me down. So Brock, that's why my answer is yes. And much like I said before, you want some, come get some. And paraphrasing all that, mind you, but that's the basic gist. And I am really, really looking forward to seeing this match between Brock and John. Brock is a whole different animal than he was several years ago when they had their last matchup at the SummerSlam. John is now on the tail end of his retirement tour. We only got like 6, maybe 5 more appearances left. It's really getting harder and harder to swallow that pill, knowing that we're that much closer now. Just wow. But yeah. Whew. Either way, now let's get into the first match of the night. Lyra Valkyria going up against Roxanne Perez. Both these girls, man, oh my god. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I tend to I'm going to say this and it's going to come off kind of contradictory, because I don't pass judgment, but the way I judge, because I don't know how else to describe it, but the way I judge on if a match is going to look good or not is on how good the tie-up is at the start. And my god, Lyra and Roxy, they just had this really, really tight collar elbow tie-up. to the point to where one of them was on the ground and they were still holding like, all right, yeah, I got you. Come on. All right, and whoa, oh, and then just back and forth. Really good grabs by them. Roxanne, she was leading into the commercial break with Lyra, building up the comeback post. And Lyra, she wound up getting a win via the Nightwing. Post-match, there was a beatdown on Lyra, and then she got saved by Bayley. After that, Bayley was just like, yay! Oh, yeah, woo! Running around, celebrating. Jumped up to go and give a hug to Joe Tess. And then when Lyra went to go confront her in the back, she saw the door was closed. Before she knocked, she heard Bayley screaming and yelling. Then, Bayley? Hey, listen. Wanted to say thanks for helping me out back there, but I just wanted to check. Are we cool? We cool? And then she snapped like back when she was in her Karen mode. So, we're getting split personality Bayley. Much like Mankind, much like Mick Foley had the many faces of Foley, we're now getting the many faces of Bayley. I like it. Next up, we had Kofi going against Penta, and woo, this was good. Kofi, he was very good with the chicken shit heels type tactics at the start, ducking out of the ring, running around, trying to avoid, and then just really good action, and the chops Penta was hitting them with. My God, they sounded almost something like out of the, like back when he was in Lucha Underground. And for those that don't know what those chops sounded like, think of it like if you cracked a leather belt, like that. It was like that, like whoa. So Kofi wound up leading into the commercial break. Penta was leading post-break. That's when the chops were going on. I was so hyped up about with the sound from those chops. It was just, ooh. I'm sorry I skipped a page. But Penta wound up getting the win doing a springboard Mexican destroyer. So, yes, I'm going to describe it as best as I can. Penta jumped off the ropes, springboard, landed on Kofi, and then hit the Mexican destroyer. Wow! That's all I got to say on that. Wow. Next matchup we had was El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano numero uno, which might I add, not only is that shirt really good, that is a really nice shirt, that is also a shirt that you can purchase at WWE Shop using our affiliate link, which you can get to by scanning the QR code on screen or clicking the link in the description tab. I am nothing if not a shameless self-promoter. El Grande Americano going up against Dragon Lee. Both guys throwing rounds at each other at the start. Really good, solid back and forth action just from start to finish. My God, this was good. And I mean this was good. Excuse me. I really dug it. Nice, great action. Match came to an end when El Grande Dos and El Grande Chase came out and ran interference, distracted Dragon Lee, and then Americano, he wound up getting the win, doing the submission. It looked almost kind of like a accolade or maybe a camel clutch, except he had his knees driven into the back. For the love of God, I cannot remember what Joe Tess said the name of the move was. I wish that I could remember, but I can't. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's that time of year for me, folks. My sinuses. Either way, next up we got women's action. Stephanie Vaquer against Kairi. Needed some hard pills for this one. And both girls just going shot for shot with each other, back and forth throughout the whole match. It was just really great to see. Both, alright, you can do an arm drag. Well, I'm going to do an arm drag with a wrist lock. Oh, you're doing a wrist lock? Well, I'm going to do a wrist lock and then transition into an arm key. Or and things like that. And it would just bounce and transition like that, and it was just wow. Great back and forth on that, and when Kairi, she would want to go show respect, put her hand out next to you just hear Asuka sounding like that very angry, disgruntled auntie. Kairi! Like, ooh, okay. Do not make her mad. Yeah. But really great. Match came to an end when Steph wound up doing the Devil's Kiss and then the SVQ. After that, post-match, there was some post-match screaming back and forth with Asuka and then Io, and then just yeah. So we're gonna get the inevitable breakup, and we're gonna get the match between Asuka and Io for it. So I'm definitely the wheels in my head are turning as far as predictions go for WrestlePalooza and where this leads to. So we're gonna see. But Io and Steph, they had a moment where they did the code of honor to show respect to each other. I'm looking forward to that match. Now we come to main event of the night. LA Night. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. With Big Jimmy Uso teaming up to go against Big Bad Bronson Reed and the Big Bad Bodie nephew, Bron Breakker. And this match came to be because outside from last week into this week, when we saw the Usos walking into the building, LA Knight wound up going shoving Jay, got in his face, and then Adam Pearce broke him up like, enough! This is the lead-in week into WrestlePalooza, our first PLE on ESPN. I am not having this happen. This is a big week with big opportunities lined up around the corner. Now, we are going to solve this. I'm open to suggestions. Knight wound up saying, listen, I already told you last week, I want those two big goofs, Bron and Bron. You want them? Yeah. You want them? Yeah. Alright, fine. Who's your partner? I don't need a partner. I'll face off against him by myself if I got it. You need a partner or you get no one. I need a partner, huh? And he's staring off at Jey Uso. Well, since he was there last week, how about your brother, Big Jim? And Jay just like, wait, what? No. And Pierce, if he's okay with it, I'll sign off for it. You see Jay then talk to Jim like that, bro, no, wait, don't go doing that, Oos. And like, Jay, I already told him I wasn't gonna. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't come at me like you barking orders at me, you got me? Alright. And then later on he talks to Knight and says, yo, you still need a backup? You still need some backup for that tag match? Yeah, I do. Alright, count me in, man. Because he's just like, you ain't gonna bark orders at me. I'm gonna do what I want. So I'm gonna go and team with him. So now we get to the match. Good action at the start with Knight and Jimmy leading into the commercial break. Post-break, Jimmy, he was the punching bag for a little bit. And then Knight got the hot tag in. Really good, solid action. It came to an end when Bronson Reed wound up doing the jagged edge onto Jimmy. After that, there was a post-match beatdown with being saved by Jay. He helped clear things up. And as Jay's going over checking on his brother, you see Knight in the background picking up a chair, holding it. And then when Jay turns around, you see Knight holding it like, we good? Good. And then Knight, boom, pops him with the blunt force trauma. Show ends, fade to black. So if I had to make a personal guess on this, I'm saying after WrestlePalooza, we're getting a Jey Uso LA Knight feud. So, with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like on normal, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back watch some of the episodes when you can on the YouTube page. If you're listening to this on audio, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or give us a follow on Apple and Spotify, all audio platforms where we are trying to build up the audio audience. Thank you to contributor to the show, Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing.
Thank you.
Also, folks, don't forget to look for me on the social medias. Tim Vicious, 99% of the time, Tim Vicious on there is me. Also, don't forget to follow these cool ass cats on that Twitter, DSB_IV, main event _net, the main event wrestling network account, Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, and D-Dryer1986. Folks, like I was saying, you love me great, you hate me.
Shut up and sit down.
Fuck yous.